Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. This is Aaronica from Aaronica Be Cool & Co. And guys, it's time for us to do some planning, okay? If you're like, hey girl, what are we planning for? Listen, I'm not going to say that summer was a cluster, bleep, but I didn't really plan out those summer makes the way that I wanted to. And so now that we have made it through our first false fall in Atlanta, and we are currently in our second false fall, if you're like, false fall girl, what are you talking about? Atlanta is hot, right? We didn't earn the nickname of Hotlanta, which actually no one ever uses for not, right? It's because it be hot here, and then our temperatures do not start to like actually descend until later in the year. Right. Like, so yes, it's the end of August. Actually, today is my son's birthday. So shout out to me for giving birth to a goat on today because he's amazing. He's an awesome kid. He's super funny, super charming, incredibly smart, an amazing kid. And yeah, I did that. I mean, like both my husband and I definitely raised him. And he is such amazing parts of both of us. But y'all, I cannot believe that my body birthed this person. Anyway, I digress. So I figured that I needed to do a better job as far as actually planning out my makes, right? Now, I've recently gotten in the last of my little fabric splurge that I did on myself around my birthday. If you're like, your birthday, yeah, it was last month, July 20th. Shout out to me. But for my birthday, I treated myself to my probably final big fabric purchase of the year. Not only do I not really want to go ahead and like promote overconsumption, but also them tariffs are going to start to tariff. And yeah, I just got in my Blackbird fabrics order like earlier this week. And I was like, double-edged sword because one, I'm so happy that I got my order in because it is so good. Like I cannot wait to create with it, but also makes me feel so sad because yeah, like we are just essentially losing an entire demographic, and not just them, because like I also used to like to order from the Fabric Godmother, which is based in the UK. I'm also a Minerva maker and I will still be a Minerva maker. And in fact, I was wearing this here I was wearing this here outfit for Pattern Con this weekend, or last weekend, I should say. And all of that fabric was from Minerva. I will link to it. And yeah, your girl's a little sad about it. But I went ahead and I went on Pinterest today so that I could be a little bit more intentional about the things that I wanted to add to my wardrobe for this fall, because there are some things that I do feel like are lacking. Now, because I do live in Atlanta, we have to layer with intention. And I say that because, well, yes, in the morning, like this morning, it was 70 degrees when I was dropping my daughter off. And I was like, ooh, it's a little chilly. Like I could have used, I don't know, like a lightweight cardigan that I don't actually have. So I do feel like when you are living in an area that you're just like, oh, we've got some transitional time, like where you start out your day in one season and you end your day in another season, and you go through the rest of those seasons in the middle of the day. Yeah, you have to begin to layer with intention. And a lot of that also involves using different fabrics that will be heavy enough to provide protection from the cold or the chill when you need it, but also be breathable enough for you to, if you start to sweat, we're not holding on to that sweat, that moisture, right? So even though I wouldn't say that I'm like anti-linen, linen is not my favorite, but it's not because I don't like the way that it feels, because I actually do really like the way that a nice quality linen feels on your skin. It's nice and soft, but also, y'all, I just do not always like to walk around being wrinkled. I know that there is a huge debate happening in the sewing community about whether or not ironing is elite or not. I literally could not care if you iron or if you didn't iron. I don't care if you press or not, because there actually is a very big difference between pressing and ironing. I simply do not like to iron. Like in my spare time, and I'm just not like, oh my God, I cannot wait to heat up this beautiful Oliso iron that I have, because I do have the new Robert Kaufman Oliso irons. And I say irons because I think that behind, oh, well, y'all can't see it. Behind me, I have the mini iron hanging up. In front of me, in fact, my camera is currently sitting on the Robert Kaufman. I mean, not Robert Kaufman. Y'all, I am tripping. Calf. Calf is who it is by. I'm sitting here with a calf like ironing board in front of me with my large Oliso calf iron. So yeah, like when it comes to ironing in style, I've got it, right? Because I also have the tulip pink one as well. Listen, baby, when we whip out the iron is going to be cute. Okay. It's going to be cute. I simply don't like to do it. So when it comes to linen, that's the reason why I don't necessarily love sewing with linen. Not because I don't like it, but because I'm not trying to take my time to press out those irons only for 20 minutes later, not even 20 minutes later, 20 seconds later, for my garment to be filled with wrinkles again. I digress though. So I did go onto Pinterest to kind of help guide what it is that I'm going to be doing. So boom, we've got Pinterest up in front of us, and I'm going to go ahead and show what my collage looks like. I will make sure that I do go ahead and put the collage up so that you guys can kind of take a look at it behind me. So that's essentially what I'm going to be kind of pulling interest from, as well as what my inspiration is. But what I really do want to focus on is the silhouettes. This summer, I swear, every time I sat down to make a dress, I stood up with pants, and I cannot stop making pants. Pants are one of the things that people have a love-hate relationship with, right? They feel like they can't get a good fit, you know, and then sometimes people have, you know, complex feelings around doing zipper fly or button fly installs. And I got to be honest, like none of that is scary for me any longer. And I say any longer because I too used to be scared of it, right? And as soon as I got the way that I was comfortable with it, it was a non-issue for me. Also, understanding what adjustments that I had to make for certain designers versus others really made making pants a lot easier for me. Are all of my pants perfect? No, because I do believe in making wearable muslin. So some of them do still need to be taken in or make some adjustments. Also, like I still have lost and I'm still losing weight. And so like adjustments are something that are very common. Like right now I'm getting ready to take apart a pair of trousers that I made because I want to reuse that fabric to make a different silhouette. So all of that there is very possible when it comes to pants. You can also do it, of course, with dresses, skirts, etc. So what I'm saying is that I love pants and I don't necessarily mind doing all of the adjusting and everything that has to kind of go in when it comes time to make your pants. So I have put on my collage quite a few pairs of pants, y'all, on purpose because that's what I like to wear. Also, y'all, my thighs rub together. I'm not trying to have my thighs rubbing together and fighting all the time. So there's a couple of key things that I'm looking at for this fall. One are making pairs of jeans, right? So I just got, and she's behind me, I just got the Burnett B08 machine, and the B08 machine is essentially an industrial machine. We cannot call it an industrial machine because it does have a handle. So that is the big difference between the B08 and a standard industrial machine. There are a couple of other small differences, but ultimately it is a straight stitch machine, meaning that it is a high powered machine that can handle really tough materials. So because of that, I'm like, yes, your girl is going to embark on a jeans making frenzy. And I say frenzy loosely because, I mean, how many pairs of jeans do we really need? But also, y'all know I have kids and a husband that I also sew for. So yeah, they might be getting some custom made jeans as well. So I have some really beautiful denim that I got from a fellow sewist in the community. I bought it from her. I bought 10 yards. 10 yards is a lot of fabric, y'all, especially when it comes to this high quality denim. So I do plan on making some jeans with that. But some of the silhouettes that we're looking at adding to, we're doing wide leg jeans, straight leg jeans, wide leg pants. I did the Paris Palazzo. I'm going to work on a sew along with a couple of different hacks for that for us. But then also, I definitely want to get my ME 2005. That silhouette is one of my favorite silhouettes because it's not quite a balloon, but it does have a taper. And the way that it is taper, it does give a little balloon like barrel leg effect, which I really like. I am going to hack them so that they do end up having a fly front because why not, right? It's got an elastic back already and it has a flat front. So I feel like throwing in a little zipper fly, easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. So definitely have that on task. I do want to make some more skirts though. So I know it's like, I know when Julian watches this, he's going to be like, girl, you're like lying to the people, and I'm not. So there are two things that I do need to, two pieces that I already have that need to be taken in and better fitted. Both of them are bias cut dresses. One I actually do plan on keeping as a dress. And so I have a hot pink one that I thrifted and it just needs to be taken in. And then the strap needs to be fixed in that when it's good to go. And I feel like that is going to be perfect because it's like a magenta fuchsia. And then I also have a leopard print one that I got from Target. I know we're still boycotting Target, and I still encourage the boycott. I bought this one at least 5 years ago. And when I bought it, it was too big for me, and it's a 3X. And so now it's like, babe, what are we doing? But I think I'm going to cut the top off and turn it into kind of like a little maxi situation. Because I do have so much leftover fabric, I am going to debate on whether or not I would like to add a slit in there and make it the front skirt have multiple panels. So I might do like 2 panels. So that way I can have a slit up the front. We'll see. So I definitely plan on adding a couple more bias cut pieces to my wardrobe because I love bias cut skirts. I love bias cut dresses. I even saw someone make some bias cut pants. I don't think that that's for me because both my daughter and I decided that that was just kind of an interesting silhouette, and I don't know if I like how it draped. The other thing that I need to begin to add is some more chunky cardigans, right? Again, layering is very, very big for Atlantans in the fall because we, again, are starting out our days in fall/winter, but then we're ending our days and it's summertime. So I want some chunky knit sweaters. I would like for them to both be crop in length as well as maybe not quite a duster length, but a little bit on the longer side. In addition to that, I do want to make a couple of hoodies that have like fun sayings on them, as well as that represent my alma mater, right? One of my favorite things to see is like doing like an oversized like crop sweatshirt that of course might have like a Yale or something like that on it, but I went to Spelman. And so I want a crop oversized hoodie that has Spelman on it, or maybe even like a crew neck sweatshirt. We'll see. But that is one of the things that I would like to add to my wardrobe for sure. I would really like to also really do some more embroidery. I know your girl has been, I've got the embroidery module for my B590, and we've not really done anything recently with it, but I have some really fun ideas, right, to go ahead and add some lettering using my embroidery module on here. And so we're going to do some fun embroidery things as well. Nothing is going to be too hard. It'll all be very doable, so that way you guys can replicate it if you're like, yes, girl, we'd love to see this. Let's see. Also on side of here, I need to make another flight suit, right? So I used the Blanca flight suit before, which I do think I'm going to use again. I have this really fantastic fabric that I got that was sent to me by Cloud9 Fabrics. It's like a Black Panther, and it's like really, the colors are so sharp, dare I say, right? The illustrations on the fabric, very, very sharp. And I would like to do that. But I also am thinking about doing a denim flight suit as well. To do the denim flight suit though, I would really like to focus on upcycling a lot of the denims that I have thrifted. So that is one of the big projects that I have on task. I want to do kind of like a flannel wrap skirt, which I feel like will be really cute. I want to use the rosemary wrap skirt pattern. I've already used that to do like the tulip hem pattern, but now I want to do a longer version of it and have it come down to be a midi length, and having it do, as opposed to having the curved corners, having our squared up corners. So that is going to be something that is big for me too. And then some button-ups, y'all. You should already know by now that button-ups are one of my favorite things to put on. What's so funny to me is that I really started sewing as someone who really likes to wear knit fabrics. And I have, not that I don't like to wear knit fabrics, because we're going to move into that next, but I really am I've really been enjoying wearing woven fabrics, right? Woven garments, not in the sense of like the potato sack look, because I don't do that, but like I do love a good button up. Like I do love a good wrap. I do love some of these other silhouettes that I'm able to make with a woven fabric. So that leads me to, I do need a denim vest as well as a leopard print vest. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm looking at Bear because he's been into some mischief as of late. He's got to have eyes on him at all times. Sir, Bear. He looks like he's up to no good, y'all. Anyway, so got that added. And I'm like, again, I'm just looking down. I made the tropical shirt for myself. But I think I'm going to make a women's version, and I want to make it long sleeve so that I've got the cross in the front. And I want to do that out of like a fun floral fabric. This summer, I bought some flamingo fabric that I wanted to make the sour cherry, the double ugly sour cherry top out of, which is a raglan style button up. And what I'm thinking about doing is seeing if I can possibly turn that into a longer sleeve situation. If not, that's okay, because I plan on color blocking it with a black and white fabric as well as this flamenco fabric. And I think that that is going to be really cute, really fun. And yeah, so that's kind of really where my inspiration, as far as colors go, y'all already know that I identify as a maximalist with my colors. So I, of course, am not going to be sticking to just what is standard as far as the fall colors, like meaning the rusts, the olive greens, the navy blues, the beige, etc. Like, your girl is still going to show up in these bright colors, bright patterns, and doing whatever it is that I want to as far as mixing and matching those things. But again, you know, I've got my collage over here for my fall wardrobe inspiration. And I really feel like this is an inspiration as far as what kind of silhouettes that I see myself wearing versus what kind of colors. There's obviously a trend on here as far as leopard print goes, but I also feel like if you know me, then you already know that leopard print for me is not a trend. It is a favorite color of mine. I do want to add in a little bit more camo. I don't have any camo fabric though. So that is what I have on the docket for me as far as fall sewing goes. I do need to make some transitional tops though, meaning I need to be making some bodysuits. I need to be making some tank tops. I need to be incorporating some of these things. I'm also drafting a kind of like I'm not going to give it away, but it's a skirt. And I also drafted a top. I made the top for me to fly out in for Pattern Con. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn that into a pattern. And I do think that that is going to be a fantastic transitional top. Both of these patterns look like they're a little bit more athletic. They look like a little sporty spice. But I do feel like they can actually be dressed up or dressed down, depending upon what it is that you feel like pairing with them. So that leaves me to ask you all the question of, what are your fall sewing plans? Have you thought that far in advance? Are you looking at colors versus silhouettes? I do want to put together some like little capsules for me to create. I am not a capsule wardrobe baddie though, because again, maximalist. Maximalist. I just want to make sure that as I'm creating these things, like I might actually decide on a pair of pants to be worn with a couple of different options, just so that as I'm doing my outfit pairings or packing for a trip or something along those lines, there are some things that have been predefined. So anyway, that is what I have for today. I am interested in your fall sewing plans. I am also interested, like if you're a pattern designer, if you have some fall things that are coming out that we need to be made aware of. So that includes like if you're a bag maker, I want to know about some of those, because truth be told, I actually think I'm about to draft a bag as well, because I've seen this cute bag and I don't necessarily want it in the fabric that they're offering it in, and that's the only fabric. So I feel like it's just time for me to draft it. But very interested in your sewing plans that are coming up. So drop a comment below and let me know what you guys have on the docket for your fall sewing plans. And also, if you are of someone who is like into doing male designs, like I definitely want some more of these too, because I want to make my husband some more things, because one, he's just like, oh, so delicious. I love his body, obviously. But I want him, like he's really getting into his fashion bag as well. And we have not updated his wardrobe recently. So I'm interested to know some of the male patterns as well. And if you have some suggestions for my husband. For reference, he is 6'4" and about 270, but he's got like thick thighs. And okay, so let me start talking about his body, because he is not even here. And there would be nothing I could do with this energy that talking about him brings. So interested in some male, obviously, patterns, so that I can go ahead and make my husband look even sexier than what he already appears. So that is it. If you are new to my channel, again, very much so welcome. And make sure that you have liked, subscribed, dropped a comment, and let me know. But that is it. Happy sewing, and more importantly, happy planning for your fall wardrobe.